Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on August 30th, 2019. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So a ton of news that came out today, but a few points that were important here. Coming up this evening in the Asian session, we have preliminary industrial production numbers out of Japan, and then also building approvals here for month over month. And that is it. So if the Australian data comes out below expectations, then that would be negative for Australian dollar. Okay, so coming up on Friday here, sorry, excuse me, I have this cough. Okay, my apologies. Okay, coming up on Friday here, we have a ton of data again from the Eurozone here. And then the important one here will be the CPI flash estimate year-over-year numbers here. This is our inflation number and one of the important numbers that the central banks track. So that will be important. We heard from ECB today that they were not in a hurry to start their quantitative easing program again. But if the numbers are not positive or they come in below expectations, it would again give the market, basically it will create sentiment that the market would be looking for ECB to cut rates. So we need to keep that in mind. And in our New York session here, we have GDP numbers here for Canada here. So Canada is one of the countries where the central bank hasn't really talked about cutting rates or making any changes to the monetary policy. Now, if the numbers are not in line with expectations, then it would just create that market sentiment again for market participants to look for Bank of Canada to perhaps cut rates as well. So negative numbers here will have a negative impact on Canadian dollar here. And then we have personal spending numbers out of US, Chicago PMI number, as well as consumer sentiment numbers. So these numbers are important and will have an impact on the market here on the US dollar. And then in the evening session, Asian session here, we have manufacturing PMI numbers out of China. Now, Chinese number do have an impact on Australian dollar and New Zealand dollars. So if the numbers are below expectations, it will be negative for both of those currencies. Another thing to keep in mind here is we are into month end tomorrow. So we can see opposite flows. So if the market has been going in one direction, that can change with the month-end flows sometimes. So do keep that in mind. And also very, very important here, we are going into September, and this is where President Trump had said that some of the tariffs would come into play. So if President Trump makes an announcement that they are going to maybe postpone those tariffs, then it is going to have a big impact on the market. So we're likely to see the equities go up, and as well as the yen crosses, Swiss franc crosses go up as well. So we'll have to pay attention to those things as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on our news feeds, because if any of those comments come out from President Trump, it is going to impact the market. However, if he does not say anything, then as of Tuesday next week, after the Labor Day weekend here, we are likely to see additional tariffs on China, which will then have a negative impact on the markets going into next week. So important news to pay attention to. So let's go into our charts here. We will start off So we'll start off by taking a look at our euro here. So yesterday we were looking for euro to drop. So we got a nice drop here. So based on the candle close here today, we are still biased to the downside on euro. And I will look for a bit of a pullback into perhaps into 1.1070 level here, back into the bottom of these pins. And then looking for it to drop further. So bias here is bearish and looking for it to drop here. Now we could get a bit of a deeper pullback here into about the 75.80 level here. That's possible as well. So just looking for price to drop and looking for it to come and retest the bottom here at 1.1030. So the price moves haven't been very large here. It looks like market is just slowly making its way to the downside here in euro. Not a lot of momentum at this point, but bias is bearish and target is 1.1030 for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, we have seen a drop yesterday. It hasn't quite cleared the bottom here, but it is bearish and we are right into the bottom of the range that price has been trading in. Now we are into a very important support resistance level. As we can see, price was stuck in this level for quite some time before it went through, and now it's trying to make its way through this in the opposite direction here. So bias is bearish. However, if we do not see a break here through the bottom, then price could go back into this range towards the middle or top of the range. So keep an eye on that. So for now, bias is bearish though. But like I said, we do need to see a break to the downside and a move out of the range. And then I'm looking for price to basically drop here. So bearish bias, again, very important for it to get through at 1.2180. If it doesn't, then we could see price go back up. But for now, bias is bearish. First target is 1.2100. Second target, 1.2020. Aussie dollar here, this one is bearish. Looking for price to drop further here. 0.6680 will be the next target here. So our bias is bearish for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar, this one as well, we have had a nice bearish candle close here. So looking for it to drop further. Bias is bearish and first target is a 1.6280 and then a 1.6240 here. Bias is bearish for New Zealand dollar as well. Dollar CAD here, yesterday we had talked about the importance of this level here at 1.3320. Price wasn't able to go through this, so today we have a bearish candle close. So bias here is bearish. I would look for price to come back down towards the bottom of the range here at 1.23250. And this is where we will have to see how price performs, because if it doesn't break through, we're likely to see price go sideways here. So bias for now is bearish, looking for a drop towards the bottom of the range here at 1.3250. So bearish bias here for dollar CAD. Gold here, same thing here. We have seen the move in both directions. Price went up and then dropped, but the candle here is neutral. So we'll have to see how this goes. I would look for a bit of a pullback. Sorry, this is not gold, silver here. I would look for a bit of a pullback into 18.50. If it holds below, then I'm looking for a drop here. So it looks like it's going sideways at this point. And if it doesn't break through to the upside, we could see it drop. So for now, bias is neutral for silver here. And let's take a look at gold here. Gold, we have seen a drop. We do see that price hasn't held below this 1525 level. So we were looking for a drop towards 1525, which we got that, but it hasn't dropped yet. So we do need to see a drop first here. So bias is bearish, but if it doesn't drop through today's low, it could go back up here. However, if it drops through today's low, holds below, then I'm looking for a move to the downside towards 1490 level here. So bias is bearish for gold. Oil here, oil is looking bullish today, and it's right into the resistance, but looking bullish. So next move, I will look for it to be higher at 57.50. And if it goes through that, then we are looking at 58.50. So bias is bullish here for oil. Copper. Copper is interesting here. We have a neutral candle close here. Price looks like price is gapped up, but it could fill that gap. But for now, it's neutral, and this one could go in either direction. Bitcoin here, yesterday we were looking for a drop. We do have that drop, but price is into support here. So do need to be careful. Overall, the bias still is bearish. Looking for it to go towards 90.60 level here, back into the support. And as we can see, price has been trading in the range for a long time, but it's been making lower highs here. So we could see a break in Bitcoin here to the downside here. So watch out for that. But for now, all I'm looking for is a drop into 90.60. And if it holds above, I would look for it to go sideways. However, but it seems like it's pushing into this level here. We have this triangle here. So if it does drop, then we're looking for a move lower, and we could see price come back down into these levels here. For now, though, bias is bearish for Bitcoin. S&P 500, this one broke through this resistance here, and now we are into the top of the range. As we can see here, price has been trading in a range for last 2-3 weeks here. We have a bullish candle close, so I will look for a price move to the upside. So today, market did quite well because there was positive news that US and China were talking about continuing their trade talks as they had previously discussed, so continuing them in August. And that provided market the upside, and as a result, we saw S&P 500 go up. Now, we are very close to those tariffs here, so this one could go in either direction. So we just have to wait and watch, because the word out of White House is what will drive the market. So if President Trump announces that they're going to delay the tariffs, we're likely to see price go higher, and I will look for price to go into 29.70 level, which is our next support resistance level, and potentially even higher here. So because our bias is to the upside. However, if there is no talk of delaying the tariffs and tariffs do go into play next week, then we're likely to see S&P actually drop. So the equity markets will drop in that case. For now, though, bias is bullish. Next target is 29.40, and then after that, 29.70. So bullish bias here for S&P 500. NASDAQ, the same thing. We are still trading in this range that we see. So at this point, we have a bullish bias. I will look for price to go into the high here at 77.80. And if it goes through that level, then we're looking for price to potentially move into 78.80 level here. So bias is bullish for NASDAQ. DAX here, a big move to the upside here. We are right into our resistance level here. So we do need to see price basically get to the other side first. So 12,000 will be, excuse me, 12,000 will be the target for DAX. FTSE here, FTSE has also gone up here. Bias is bullish. Now we are into resistance here, so we need to be careful, but bias is bullish, and I will look for a break, a pullback, and a further move to the upside. So bullish bias here for FTSE. Last but not least, we are into Nikkei. This has also been trading in a range, as we can see, just going back and forth here. So now bias is bullish, and first target would be 20,800 will be the first target. So that's bullish, and then if it goes through the high, then we're looking for next target at 20,000 21,000. So bias here is bullish. So I would look for a pullback into potentially into 20,500 and then a further move higher here. So bias is bullish for Nikkei here. All right, so that's all I have. So have a great trading day tomorrow, and I will see you back on the weekend. So there would be no market analysis call live. However, I will send out a recording and I'll upload it to YouTube as well. So that's it for today. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week again. Bye for now.